Hi guys, Mark here. I own a Classic. I'm a bit of colour alterations tonight using filters on the old GoPro. A little bit dark, and I haven't got around to getting my light back yet from a mate of mine. So we all cut now. Continue this line I said I would do on the Convoy range. We're going to look up next is at CY2. This was the second release in the Convoys from 1982. Although I've seen actually got one badge from 1981. The trailer itself came from the 1970s. In 1977 she was designed for the 9000 series, and it was TP24 I think it was, for the Leyland boat transporter. But we're going to get on the table now with a close-up and have a better look. Okay, then a little bit of a look around the outside of the box. How she came in 1982. This is the second generation of livery. I have seen a German set from 1980, late 1981. It was called Highway Haulers. Very rare. Never seen a set since. Cab originally came in with a silver on a Kenworth and a silver trailer, and the white plastic rocket attached to the spruce. I put the foam inside the box to stop it rattling around a little bit, because these become particularly fragile now, and keep them out of sunlight, because all 1980s plastics, these badly discolour. I'll show you on another truck in a moment. This end on, same as all Matchbox trucks. Most of us bilingual. Early ones was no print at all on the side. And again, 1982 Lesney products. Same again from this side. We get out of the box now, we'll have a look. Okay, here she is, here's our girl. Now as you can see, it's quite a nice example. It's similar to I'll show you now, which was standard production, and it was quite poorly done. The cab graphics, this Matchbox seemed to have a major problem with getting consistency on the cab graphics, and I've seen 5 different variations of the colour scheme. Now this release was a second release. How do I know this? If we look on the top of the cab here, we've got the blue square. The early releases are like an upside down letter A. They tried to improve the printing and delete some of the features to make it more desirable, and in fact it was easier to print. So this series 2 here, and we have an example here, and this was my original from 1981. She's marked 1981 on the bottom, and I remember having it when I was roughly 8 years old at Christmas. Where the trailer has gone, I haven't got a clue. I couldn't tell you. Over the years it seemed to have vanished, which promoted me to buy this one because it was the closest I could get in good condition to the original spec of this one. Doesn't look particularly played with, but believe me, she did a lot of miles in my hands. So this was this is the release 1, and that's the release 2. Literally weeks before the end of producing, before I went over to International Toys or Tyco, wherever it was at the time, Matchbox produced this one, but again with the front graphics deleted, in an attempt to save pennies. Literally they was trying that hard. So I'll just move these over. So you got the series 1, series 2, late series 3 if you like, and then you have the macaw version. This was the first release macaw with a white cab. Now in between this one and this one, Matchbox International done when she was in a plain grey. So it didn't even metallic, so it was silver. So originally it was a dull silver, a bright silver, darker silver and white. But in between these two, they produce a flat grey. It was like primer. I haven't got one, but they're quite rare. They're only available in France, so I can tell. Later version of this then was done with a silver rocket, and the very last of them, they didn't even bother print the red stripe on with NASA or NASA on a cab. They left it out completely. So lastly then, we have this very early series one, as you can see from here. It's got the full A on the cab. It lines up quite nicely. Some of them didn't line up nicely at all. If I can show you on, let me see, this one here, that's a really nice A pattern. But you can see, what was these little lockers on the side, they had great difficulty lining it up with those on production line, and that's what caused the problem. So as we can see on this one, this is an early one, all the tooling was quite fresh, but you still have this kind of arc effect to the decal, where the red lines in further than the blue, because it would put in the stamping press at the same time. So one colour would have been done first, then the second colour. So of the NASA cabs, there's a lot of variations. Now I quite like this one. Although it hasn't got the full A, it's a 1981, the decal's actually in the line. But if you look on the front of the step here, it doesn't line up. Again, on the McCall lorry, it doesn't line up. Whereas on my original from 1981, she lines up perfect around the front wheel arch, and she's virtually straight down the side. And the same as this other one, the same. It's a shame that they never got the tamper printing right, because there is literally so many variations of these. You can't say one or another is a production error, as there's so many production errors with these. It's hard to quantify what is an error, what isn't. Matchbox just to let them go. Okay, so we're going to pop one of these rigs on the turntable now and have a quick look around one. Okay, we're going to have a quick look around the trailer. The trailer, like I said, was designed back in 1977. All the intricate detailing on the trailer was all cut in originally into the master mould by hand, or master casting I should say, from which the negative was taken to mould the trailers. The only difference between the low bed trailer here from 1980 onwards was Matchbox changed the casting to have a peg and post rather than the original T-slot on the original convoys. Sorry, on the 900 series, which technically is the start of the convoys. The original Rocket on the back here, quite disappointed I am with this one, because some of the little plastic lugs have snapped, which you do with the years. They become very fragile, easily to break, and to get a white one these days is very hard. I'll show you on one of the Rockets now. As you can see here, the moulding for this was used on a 2024 Matchbox or 2023 Matchbox in the convoys range, and so it would be so bad that Matchbox couldn't even bring themselves to brand it as a convoy. They branded it as a convoys, a different line altogether. Even though I was using a mould taken from the original Lesney Rocket. So as you'll see coming round now, some do fade quite bad when left on display. It's quite unfortunate that they do go so bad, because this one is still attached to the chassis frame, and it becomes so brittle. When I actually touched this the other day, the head of the Rocket actually broke off the frame. So until that point, she was virtually mint, albeit rather discoloured. So we're just going to run 4 of the 5 cabs on here now. As you can see, the variations in some of them, including my original from 1981, are very play worn. This one particularly interesting, with no tamper graphics on the front. I think the Mattel model, the Tyco model in white, I think is particularly attractive. It really suits the set. We just continue to have a little bit of a browse now, as you can have a look. Okay, so I have a guest appearance of the Convoy's Rocket truck. This is probably one of the worst trucks I've ever seen in the Matchbox range. The whole van is plastic. Only thing on the truck metal is the cab, everything else is plastic. The entire trailer is plastic with a weight underneath. It's the reverse of the Matchbox trailer. So it was plastic, is now metal. To an extent, actually no, I'm lying, because the whole cab and the chassis was all metal, with just the base plate being plastic. The whole thing is plastic with a metal cab nailed on the top, and I can't hide my disappointment. The only thing that's good, this is the original Matchbox casting, and has now been moulded as one piece as well to cut down costs even further. Talk about cost cutting, eh? So a quick run through the cabs now, and next time we're going to take a look at CY3. Now there's several versions of CY3. The Interstate, and we have a guest appearance here of my camera truck. Now people wonder how I do some of the shots. It's on the back of my Peterbilt. I literally just mount my GoPro on the back of my Peterbilt. This is my original one when I was a boy. I can tell now, this really has had the most play with it. And this was a truck I had at the time with it. This was obviously in the G4 set. I'll show you the rest of the set. I have got it, but it's all in the same play worn condition as this. And as you can tell with this one, she was my pride and joy. She was loved and I looked after her well, so I'm disappointed with the trailer's gone during my life. But this one done the mileage. This was the hardcore trucker. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully you'll join me, and we won't have one of these to deal with. It'll be all Matchbox. Right, thanks and bye bye.